Good morning, folks. This is BKP, and it's time for BKP Politics. I am so glad to be back this Monday morning. And we're back Monday morning. I am so glad we've all returned from our Thanksgiving super spreader events. That's what the media is calling them. They are recommending that all of us, November 30th, 2020, 8:01 a.m., and I'm BKP, and you're watching BKP Politics. We have so much to go over. They're recommending if you travel. I watched the news this morning. If you travel, I have to stop calling it the news. I've got to do that. I guess it's got to stop. But if you have traveled anywhere over the holiday weekend, they are recommending you, give me number 33. There's all the social media ways you can follow us. Thank you, Emily. Good morning, Emily. Good to have you back. Hope you had a nice weekend at your Thanksgiving Super Spreader event, as so did I. Here you go, folks. This is it right here, okay? Many travelers to self-quarantine after holiday travel. They're asking all of you if you traveled anywhere, please self-quarantine. So Brian Kemp, the governor, give me this picture and I'm going to caption it for you, okay? Brian Kemp, the governor of Georgia, and Brad Raffensperger, the Secretary of State, they're in deep SHI asterisk, very deep, number 8. They're in very deep SHI. See, here's the caption for this, okay? Trump said this, he said, Marie Bartiromo, yesterday on Fox Business, he said, I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed I endorsed this guy. Ooh. The door is wide open. Can you hear it? You see it wide open? It's like, don't leave that door wide open, because you will let a 2022 opponent in, and that's what Trump did. I am going to go out on a limb, and I lead the league on, going out too far on a limb. I lead the league on that. But I'm going to go out on a limb today, November 30th, 2020 at 8:03 a.m. and say, I'm just feeling very strong there will be an opponent. Brian Kemp will have an opponent in 2022 in the primary, not in the general, in the primary. He will have an opponent that will be coveting, is that what you say, the President of the United States endorsement. I'm ashamed I endorsed that guy. Here's the caption here. Trump is leaning over to Kemp and he's saying, Brian, you see that bus down there? You mean that one? Yeah, that's the one I'm getting ready to throw your ass under. So, Kemp and Raffensperger, now, what do they say? I don't repeat gossip. I do not. I don't repeat gossip. So you have to listen close the first time, right? So, it's rumbling around the old Gold Dome in Atlanta that there's a possibility Raffensperger, the Secretary of State of Georgia, may resign. Just saying, a possibility. Just saying, a lot of rumbling. Who is this judge, number 5? Is this number 5? Give me number 5. We got a lot to do today, and we're going to do it all. We're going to get through it. Number 5 here happens to be a judge that supposedly signed an order, rescinded the order, and then supposedly signed a new one at 10:10 last night. So this is Judge, is it Batten? Is his name Batten? Yes, Timothy C. Batten Sr., United States District Judge. Give me Kyle Becker, his update there on Twitter, number 6. Now, you are hearing, let me tell you this. You're hearing yesterday, a lot of people got all excited, so we're waiting. I have contacted a judge this morning at 6 a.m. that first of all wants to know how I know he's up at 6 a.m. I contacted a judge at 6 a.m. to see if this order has gone out to the counties concerning, don't wipe the machines clean and reset them. Don't reset them. Don't touch them. And nobody knows what I'm talking about at this time. Out of 2 people I've contacted, they're working on it now. And actually, they should be the first people, the ones I've contacted should be the first people to get this from the Secretary of State's office. So we will see. But here is what the order says. We have the complete order. This temporary restraining order shall remain in effect for 10 days or until further order of the court, whichever comes first. It is so ordered this 29th day, that was yesterday, of November at 10:10 p.m. Eastern time. So supposedly, we're checking into this. There's a whole, even Snopes is in on it. They're saying it's not true. But supposedly he signed an order yesterday morning, rescinded it, and said, oh, no, the counties are in charge of the machines. And supposedly he re-entered the order last night. Now, they don't want, that won't stop. I don't want anybody to get upset, but that will not stop Fulton County, okay, from, destroying the data, okay? And we'll get into it a little further because number one, this guy here that I can't pronounce his name, give me number one. They do not want him. They don't want this guy right here with Sidney Powell, one of her expert witnesses, or they don't want him to look at the Dominion voting machines. We'll get into that in a little bit. So, where the hell can you start on a day like today? Give me number 49. Georgia again? Fulton County elections officials confirmed to 11 Alive on Sunday that a newly purchased Dominion Voting Systems mobile server had crashed earlier in the day. Update, our witness said someone removed the server. I mean, what the hell? So Sunday, this judge comes out. I mean, there's no coincidence here, folks. Just give me number 5 really quick and then go back to this one. Go to 5. This judge comes out yesterday morning. This all happened in one day, okay? It says, freeze. Stop right here. Don't wipe any of the machines clean. Do not reset them. I'm going to let Sidney Powell's team look at these. It's evidence. You see, the thing is, okay, Sidney Powell's lawsuit, which we could get into so many different parts of it, it says, while the networks are saying there's no evidence, okay, her lawsuit says preserve every machine, quarantine the machines right in place in the entire state. Stop them right where they're at. We want to freeze them. They are part of our evidence. That has them, their nerves are shot. Because when they can prove that Dominion, when they can take Michigan and Georgia, but when they can take the machines and they can show, which they already have the evidence, they really do. They have done the anomaly. Is that what it's called? But anyhow, when they can prove this, they're going to have something strong that's going to resonate across the country in Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Arizona, Nevada. List goes on. Now, I will jump ahead, and do I feel that President Trump will get a continuous second term? I'll look in the camera and say, I don't know. But I will also look at you and tell you I have been convinced by the evidence that the corruption is real, that this is a fraudulent election. I have been convinced by that. I have. If the deep state will be able to prevent Trump from getting a continuous second term, We will see. But it won't be due to the lack of effort from a handful of patriots. Now, I'm going to say this. It's not just a handful of patriots out there. You are amazing because as small as our show is, you are on bus tours. I mean, I give a shout out real quick to Bay Cagle. How you doing, Bay? I hope you guys are doing well. We'll talk about the bus tour you're on in a minute from Pickens County. You're on bus tours. You're on rallies. You are protesting. You're storming the Capitol. My brother called me this morning. Jerry, you've had Jerry on the show several times. He calls me at 6:45 in the morning. What are you doing? I said, I'm getting ready for the show, Jerry. What do you think I'm doing? I'm headed to Harrisburg. Jerry, why are you going to Harrisburg? Today's the last day of the legislative session for Harrisburg that they're going to be there. And I'm walking the halls and I'm going door to door and letting them know that they need to fix this. You know what? They're all over. My brother Jerry, my sister, I'm going to give you, and in clarifying, my sister Lee, Gloria Lee Stover, has been on the show a lot here. She's going to be here at 8:30. We're going to get right back into this. She's going to be here at 8:30. She's going to be our guest. She was a witness last Wednesday. She has signed affidavit. We're going to play her testimony. She was a witness last Wednesday. She's going to give us a Pennsylvania update. So patriots are all over. It will not be, if Trump does not get a continuous second term. We'll put it that way, okay? And let's be clear also, when you're talking to people, we are not trying to overturn the results of an election that Trump lost. I got that byline from the networks all day long, that we're trying to overturn the results. Results, it's a definite thing. Results. What are the results? What are the results, right? So they want to put out there for mind games that we're trying to overturn the results of the election. Bullshit. Sorry. Don't need to start like that, but bullshit. Oh, sorry again. We're not trying to overturn the results. No, we're not trying to overturn an election. No, we're not trying to change Trump losing. No, didn't happen. We're trying to get to the bottom of the actual results of this election and see if there was fraud and prove the integrity. Democrats should love this process. I mean, it is saving our democracy. That's all we heard 7 days a week. Now they don't want to be a part of saving it. On one day, the damn Democrats want to save the democracy. The next day, they don't give a damn if it's saved or not. Just as long as Grandpa Joe that's playing with the German Shepherd that broke his foot, thank God it wasn't a hip, is okay. Serenity now. Okay, so back to this, right? So I'm looking here, and I'm like, where are we going this morning? Antifa. Dominion voting machines. I got it. I've got video everywhere today we've got to play, right? So I look here. Give me number 48. Kraken. Is that Sidney Powell's new Twitter account? I don't know. Kraken at Krakenwood, Linwood. Somebody wrote this. Kraken at Krakenwood. Huh. Our witness said somebody removed the server. I'm just saying, this is what's going around. Someone removed the server. Our witness said someone removed the server at Real Donald Trump, Dan Scavino, Governor Kemp, Secretary of State, the Justice Department, FBI. Where the hell is the Justice Department? Where the hell is the FBI? 11 Alive, Krakenwood, General Flynn. It's another tweet. So let's go to number 50, right? Now, let me say this to you. The corruption is right in our face, Republican and Democrat, all right? The corruption is right there, and they don't care. They absolutely do not care what we think. They want you to believe you didn't see it. It didn't happen. Give me number 50, Emily. I don't know if I called for it or not. Thank you. I forget. Now, I want to explain something to you right now. When I send certain graphics over to Emily, she has to change the sizing sometimes if they're not uniform. So it takes a minute to get it to where it looks good on the screen. So I want to give her a shout out. And I hope you enjoyed your Thanksgiving super spreader event. I hope everybody on the staff did. So anyhow, Fulton County recount delayed by Dominion server crash, officials say. Why hell, you say, right? Why hell? Why hell, you say? Let's see what we have here. The push to complete a recount requested. Now, this was published at 6:03 p.m. last night. Last night, 6:03 p.m. It seems like this crashed at an opportune time. Now, something comes to mind in Fulton County, other than how corrupt the damn place is, Keisha Lance Bottoms. Something else comes to mind in Fulton County. Oh, the toilet that overflowed, that you had to send out a national alert that you had to shut down counting on election night. The water break. Watergate. Water break in Atlanta. Fulton County, I mean, you remember that night? Water main break, have to stop, everybody go home. Okay, everybody gone? Let's go to counting. Fulton County recount delayed by Dominion server crash, officials say. The push to complete a recount requested by President Donald Trump's re-election campaign has hit a snag in Georgia, most populous county, as a statewide deadline looms. Fulton County elections officials confirmed to 11 Alive on Sunday that a newly purchased Dominion voting system mobile server had crashed earlier in the day. You can't make this SHI asterisk up. You can't. You can't make this up. You can't. What do we do? The judge ordered we have to preserve the machines. We can't. Hillary's got the bit. I wonder if Brad Raffensperger went online and ordered gallons of bleach bit from the Hillary Clinton Foundation, right? She knows how to wipe a server clean. That damn Hillary does. They're wiping these servers clean. They're wiping these machines ASAP, resetting them. Nothing to see here. We're going to show you later in the show why they are doing it ASAP. Their ass is caught. They're caught. What the result? I don't know where the hell's Barr? I mean, where the hell's Durham? Where the hell's the indictments, okay? How come they're not locking anybody up? How come the Department of Justice is not down here in Fulton County saying, or the FBI saying, shut these machines down immediately? It's okay if we investigate foreign interference as long as it's got a, Russia in the sentence and supposedly trying to manipulate our election. But if it's our own media, our own internal people, our own internal criminals that we have here in this country, they are criminals, okay? And they are working with foreign. I mean, we got Iran, we got China, we got Germany. I only got 2 hours in the day. You guys are awesome, though. You are the research department here, always sending me stuff. Technicians from Dominion have been dispatched to resolve the issue, Fulton County officials said. In a statement, the Georgia Secretary of State's office has also been alerted to the issue and is aware of the efforts to resolve the problem. The county plans to resume its counting process on Monday morning. So far, Fulton suggests its teams have already concluded the counting of absentee, early in-person, and provisional ballots, 88% of the ballots cast. Well, so was the server stolen? I don't know. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. It can't be made up. Oh, so Sidney Powell, let's go to play a video, Trump on ballot harvesting in Georgia. It's 4 minutes long. I don't think we're going to play the whole thing, and it was It was it's flashing. I don't know what's wrong with the video, but stay with us on this. I think it is. Let's see here, Emily. I'm going to see which one it is. It's like 4 minutes long.
Don't think that the presidential election was legitimate, and you think that it was stolen, what confidence do you expect voters in Georgia to have when they go to the polls to vote for, say, Loeffler or Purdue?
Well, I told them today, I think you're dealing in a very fraudulent system. I think I'm very worried about that. They are tremendous people. Kelly Loeffler, David Perdue are tremendous people. They should be in the United States Senate. They're desperately needed. But I told them today, I said, listen, you have a fraudulent system. You have a system where the flick of a switch or the putting in of a new chip can change the course of history. And you have to be very careful. I read this morning where Stacey Abrams has 850,000 ballots accumulated. Now that's called harvesting. You're not allowed to harvest, but I understand the Secretary of State, who is really, he's an enemy of the people. The Secretary of State, and whether he's Republican or not, this man, what he's done, supposedly he made a deal, and you'll have to check this, where she's allowed to harvest, but in other areas they're not allowed. What kind of a deal is that? They're not allowed to harvest during the presidential. But how can she say she has 850,000 ballots? That would mean that she's got 850,000 ballots for her. That's not supposed to be happening. That's not an election. You know, an election should be a one-day deal. You walk in and you vote. And if you can't do it, if for some reason you're not feeling well or there's a problem, but what they did is they used COVID in order to defraud the people of this country. And the whole world is watching. And the whole world is laughing at our electoral process. The whole world is watching, and it's a very sad thing. Very sad thing. And you know what? I've done a lot of things. And you just saw Space Force, and you've seen the tax cuts and the regulation cuts, and the way we've taken care of the vets, and what we've done with ANWR and Alaska, and all the different things we've done, more than just about anybody's done, and even though it's 4 years.
Now, the media doesn't follow anything up there. The only thing they want to know is if the Electoral College votes and gives their votes to Joe Biden, will he leave? That's all they want to know. They follow nothing up. A good journalist, the media, would want to know, and I wish I had the deep staff to do it. We have a couple people working on some things, and you're the research department. How does Stacey Abrams already have 900,000 ballots? 900,000. How does she already have 900,000? Okay. Brad Raffensperger, an enemy of the people, the Secretary of State, Republican or not. That is one of the things that I got to give it to my president. I said, Republican or not, okay? How could she ballot harvest? Election should be one day. Walk in one day. They used COVID. They did. And we're going to talk about that later in the show. And the whole world is watching. Now, I want to play, Emily, what I call Pennsylvania number one. I want to play this Pennsylvania number one. This is from last Wednesday before we go to our break. Okay? Let's play this one really quick.
What we saw there, what I saw there, was a chain of custody in all cases that was broken. It was broken for the mail-in ballots, the drop box ballots, the election day USB V-card flash drives. In all cases, the chain of custody and the procedures that were defined by the Delaware County Board of Elections and Election Process Review they didn't follow one. I couldn't even redline this multi-page document because the entire document would be, they didn't follow any of the procedures. What we saw there, what I saw there, was a chain of custody in all cases that was broken. It was broken for the mail-in ballots, the drop box ballots, the election day USB V-card flash drives. In all cases, the chain of custody and the procedures that were defined by the Delaware County Board of Elections and Election Process Review they didn't follow one. I couldn't even redline this multi-page document because the entire document would be, they didn't follow any of the procedures.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to get an update from Pennsylvania with Gloria Lee Snover. She is one of the witnesses from last Wednesday. We're going to see exactly what's happening and on tap in Pennsylvania today, and then we're going to come back and spend the rest of the show finding out what's on tap in Georgia. If you hear anything concerning Georgia or what's taking place, please don't hesitate. Show people how to get in touch with me to send information on the show, okay? And let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World has 9-piece living room packages at incredible prices. Get this stylish sofa and love seat, 3 tables, 2 lamps, 43-inch 4K TV, and stand, all for only $1699.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this 9-piece living room and reclining sofa and reclining love seat, now only $1999.99 or $149.99 a month. These packages are amazing. Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge, we have your new house in stock.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Okay, folks, we're back. I am your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics. You're the greatest research team out there. As I tell you every day, we don't have the depth here. We're not the big network. Thank God we're not that big network, right? But we're not the big network. We don't have the depth. We don't have the full research department. You are the research department. You send me stuff all the time. You're the best. I can't thank you enough. It's on the screen how to contact me, anything going. And if I don't get to your stuff on the show, I read all of it and I work on it to see, where we need to go with it. So don't take that wrong, but please. All right, I have a guest now, Pennsylvania, what's going on in PA. So I told you this morning, I just got a disclosure. It's not just Sidney Powell, okay? And it's not just Linwood, and it's not just Giuliani, okay? And it's not just Dan Scavino. But, when I say that, there's a lot of patriots out there that are out there 7 days a week. Let me give a shout out to Bay Cagle, our friend from Pickens. You went down to Florida to join the bus tour. We'll talk about a 2-week bus tour with a group. Our friend Bay sent me some messages last night. My brother called me this morning, Jerry, at 6:30. What are you doing? Getting ready for the show, Jerry. You know what I'm doing. I'm headed to Harrisburg. I'm going to walk the halls today. I'm going to knock on every door. And it's just one, and those are the examples of the patriots out there. You have not given up, because it's not, I want to say it's not about a second term for Donald Trump. And I want to be clear. It's about the corruption and a free, accurate, clear election belongs to the people. I don't want to get wound up. I have a guest on the phone, but as I said this morning, Democrats loved saving the democracy 7 days a week until it become time to save the democracy. Now we can't find them. Wednesday last week, Pennsylvania held some hearings, and Senator Colonel Mastriano presided over those hearings. There were so many witnesses. We're going to get to it, but we're going to get to the bottom of what's happening in Pennsylvania. My guest, Gloria Lee Snover, was one of those witnesses. Let's play her clip. I think it's 1 hour, 40 minutes. I think I have it in there. Let's play her testimony. We're going to ask her some questions. Then she's going to tell us what's happening in the update in PA. So let's play that, Emily, really quick.
If the next one can come forth.
You see this plastic tote right here?
Hey, sorry about that, Emily. You probably got to get past that. Can you get past that and put it back up? I know a commercial popped.
Whenever you're ready. Okay, are you on? Hello? Can you hear me?
Hello.
Okay, over to you. We can hear you.
Am I on?
Yes, please begin. You have the floor.
This is Gloria Lee Snover. I am chairman of the Northampton County Republican Committee. Northampton County is a Democrat county where Republicans win elections. I have been involved in the political process in Northampton County for more than 25 years. I've worked on campaigns for township supervisor to President of the United States. This year was one of the most vast, complex elections I have ever had to oversee as party county chairman. The complexity was due to the new mail-in ballot system and ever-changing rules. The unmanned drop boxes in the general election that we did not have in the primary. Also changing the fact that voters could bring their ballot to the polls and vote on the machine, and many other new procedures. There was mass confusion regarding the mail-in ballot system. I fielded scores of calls from Northampton County voters and collected incident reports from voters and poll watchers regarding the November 3rd election. The typical calls I would field were, I didn't ask for a mail-in ballot. Why am I on the mail-in ballot list? I did not get my ballot. What should I do? It's been weeks. How come my wife got her ballot and I didn't get one? We applied on the same day. How can I vote on the machines if I applied for a ballot? Is it safe to put my ballot in the mail? My ballot says it wasn't received, and I turned it into the election office in person. My ballot says canceled. What does that mean? I voted in person, and it still says not counted. I've been on hold with the election office 70 minutes. What do I do? In turn, because of these questions, I had a number of phone calls and emails, correspondence with the election office and the county solicitor before Election Day, trying to make sure I was disseminating information correctly to the voters, volunteers, and the campaign. One call turned heated when the registrar threatened to turn me over to the district attorney for posting a picture of a voter ballot harvesting a large bag of ballots at a Northampton County drop box. It was my opinion the registrar was more concerned we exposed it rather than the fact that it was happening. The most pertinent information I have to offer this committee was my conversations with the election office regarding curing the disqualified naked ballots, which they unlawfully pre-canvassed before Election Day. They actually told me on the phone early in October, they felt them, they held them up to the light, they separated them out in different boxes. Reflecting back on these 3 weeks, in the experience, the major concerns regarding this election are equal protection. Were the Democrats and Republicans treated the same? Were they given the same information and opportunity to vote? Did they equally have an opportunity to cure their disqualified ballot? Not in my county. There was no ability to properly witness the canvass of the mail-in ballots or see the actual ballots. Were there signatures? The solicitor told me there is absolutely no law that allows us to see the counting or to see the ballots. To this day, we have no idea what or whose ballots were counted. Another one, very strange. There's a pattern of reactivated old voter rolls that kept reoccurring on the SURE system. The SURE system is our Pennsylvania voter system. Scores of people that had not voted since the 1990s, more than 22 years ago, were all now reactivated and receiving mail-in ballots. People that didn't vote for Obama or Hillary were all of a sudden receiving mail-in ballots, setting up the opportunity for fraud on a massive scale that would go undetected because voters who never intended to vote would not know. The SURE system is not so sure. We also found in Northampton County more than 1,500 votes where the mail-in ballot was received in the election office on a date before it was even mailed. We have a problem with this election. Thank you for allowing me to share my election experience, and I plead with you to remedy the mail-in ballot process. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony.
All right, we're back. First of all, our guest here now, Gloria Lee Snover. Welcome to the show. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Well, that was one. You were one of the witnesses. Wednesday. You were one of a long list. We want to get into some of those if you can highlight them. But you know, you got an opportunity. I have to say this: you got an opportunity to be the last witness before the president came on. So we know he got to hear your statement. I got a couple quick things before we get into what's happening Monday in Pennsylvania. First of all, Senator Doug Mastriano, he is your senator, correct?
Well, he's a leading senator in Pennsylvania. He's not my personal senator where I live in my district, but
Okay.
everyone knows him. He's pretty, I would say he's the conservative Trump senator who's been leading this charge.
Okay, and do you know him at all? Any at all?
Yes.
Is he sincere? It's the only way I got to say, because when we watch politicians out here today and we see them do things, is he sincere?
I'd like to think that he is. I think that he is. I do. He's already taken a lot of risks in doing this. I mean, he's under a lot of heat from, the mainstream media and people going after him now. So, he had to step out and do this. So he's got to be sincere.
I get it. Okay.
Even his own party is tearing him down now because they're like, we would have rather you just let this sleeping dog lie and not bring this up. They don't like that Mastriano brought this to light. The House of Representatives
let's be clear,
in Pennsylvania.
that's Republicans, right?
Republicans do not like that Mastriano brought this to light and that he's leading this charge. The Republican Pennsylvania House, the Republican Pennsylvania Senate, they are in hiding. They do not like that he did this because it's calling them out. It's forcing them to take a stand. It's forcing that it's exposing who they are, if they're Trumpers or if they're MAGA or they're not. So they don't like that he did this. So I think he has to be real. I mean, he's rolling against his own party right now in Pennsylvania.
So he is sifting through, and we're going to find out in Pennsylvania. And it's going to happen here in Georgia also. We're going to find out who's who with what Mastriano's done in Pennsylvania, who they support. If they're for real, the voters in Pennsylvania will find out. There was a couple things. Now, I did understand, and for those that don't, and don't take that wrong, it's the constitutional 14th Amendment that we have equal protection under the law. I think it's the 14th Amendment that says we have equal protection under the law, and that would be our vote. And it means somebody that votes in Pittsburgh, Erie, PA, Scranton, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, and Allentown, all 5 people are supposed to be guaranteed under the Constitution the same opportunities with their vote as equal protection under the law. Is that the point you were trying to make in one of your statements about Republican areas didn't get the same opportunity to make the correction on their ballot if necessary?
Right. Okay. So I've done an affidavit with the Trump lawyers, and my biggest part that I'm contributing is equal protection, because what happens is we have a corrupt Secretary of State, just like you guys do, who was getting word out to Democrat counties. This is what we're alleging. They were getting word out to Democrat counties that they could fix the ballots that were messed up or disqualified or weren't voted properly.
Right.
But the same information was not getting to Republican counties because our law says you cannot correct ballots. When a ballot comes in wrong, a ballot comes in wrong. It's not supposed to be canvassed ahead of time. It's supposed to be canvassed on election day with all the other ballots. So Democrat counties were separating them out, figuring it out, feeling it, trying to find out if they were disqualified, and telling people to come in and fix them and contacting them. And they told me that, and I knew that was against the law. And they should not have been doing that. So Democrat counties were doing it. Republican counties were obeying the law and not doing it. And they also, the Secretary of State was telling different counties at different times. So they told Northampton County on October 28th, yes, you can fix disqualified ballots. They told Montgomery County 2 days before Election Day, like November 1st. So there was, this equal protection wasn't happening. Every county was handling the disqualified ballots differently because, one, it was against the law to fix them, and number 2, our Secretary of State was not disseminating the information properly to every county. So that was happening, and those are thousands of votes that either should not have been counted or should have been counted in every county. So I'm part of the equal protection part of the lawsuit.
I just got a text. We have I'm sorry, I'm paying attention, but we have a judge that ordered the machines not to be wiped clean in Georgia, and down in Fulton County, the servers have crashed. A server has crashed. So anyhow, I'm sorry, I'm trying to multitask.
No, I get it. I'm following Georgia as well.
So let me go to the second thing. I got that. Now the second thing is drop boxes. You actually watch ballot harvesting. I remember you posted on social media ballot harvesting, and they actually were going to charge you for posting, press charges for posting the picture, but they could care less about the ballot harvesting. So tell our audience, these drop boxes are just really right for ballot harvesting, are they not?
Oh, absolutely. We had a ballot harvest. We had a team that watched all the drop boxes in our county, volunteers. So they would watch them all. And, most of the people were bringing more than one ballot. It's supposed to be one vote, one person. And people were bringing in 3 ballots, 4 ballots, a bag of ballots, taking pictures before they dropped them in. Were they being paid for how many they brought? We don't know. But they were more mad at me that we were doing this and exposing it than the fact that it was happening. They didn't care. We have a very Democrat county election office, and it's a free-for-all.
So you think they're taking pictures of the ballots before they put them in so they can get paid?
Yeah, why else would they be doing that? They're holding the ballots in a fan and taking a photo before they dropped them in. For me, I'm just wondering, why are they doing that? Stuff like that we were watching and documenting. But Pennsylvania has, I don't know, but our mail-in ballot system is unconstitutional. Our Pennsylvania Constitution says you can't use that system. You can only use excuse absentee, where you're away at college, or you're sick, or you're shut in. Our House of Representatives and our senators passed it unconstitutionally. It was supposed to go, the only way you can change our Constitution is on the ballot as a referendum, and they skipped that. They skipped it. So we are trying to sue, or filing suit, saying it was unconstitutional. And of course, our Pennsylvania Supreme Court, which is all Democrat, it's a Democrat-controlled court, has already thrown it out. The only thing we can do is get it to the Supreme Court of the United States. But there's several things in Pennsylvania that was completely, not just fraud, but unconstitutional.
Well, let me ask you a quick question here, because majority of our viewers are in Georgia, and we appreciate you and people like yourself to get the word out. We do have Pennsylvania viewers, but let me just ask this. Now, in Georgia, a constitutional change has to be on the ballot and be voted by the people. So the House, our legislature can put up a constitutional change, but then it has to go on the ballot and the people of Georgia have to vote on it. Is that how it works in Pennsylvania, that you have to vote on constitutional changes?
Yes, and they skipped that. When they passed the mail-in balloting, they completely skipped it.
Right. So it didn't change the Pennsylvania Constitution, which requires the people to vote on it on a ballot.
Correct. Okay. And they skipped that.
And I just wanted to get that in there because people will yell it wasn't constitutional. And I get a lot of people say, well, how do you know it? What's that the big deal? The governor did it. No. You could only change the Constitution by the vote of the people. So I want to get to two more things, and then I want to get to what's happening currently.
Well, that makes me wonder if your mail-in ballot system was constitutional. I don't know what Georgia has in their Constitution.
No. We have the same thing. Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger last March made an unconstitutional agreement with Democrats on mail-in ballots to where we check signatures. Okay.
Well, I hope somebody is filing a lawsuit against them and taking it to the Georgia Supreme Court, which I don't know what party controls that, but your whole election could be tossed based on that.
Sidney Powell is working on that diligently, and I got to say she is. And I want to get to two more things, and I want to ask you one or two questions about the hearing because you had some great testimony last week, like the gentleman Gregory Stenstrom. Yes, but you made a comment in your testimony, one more, that they reactivated, and this is what I read into this and see if it's correct. They reactivated voter rolls all the way back in the 90s.
Yes.
So people that didn't even vote for for Obama or Hillary, they were reactivated. And are you implying that way they could get absentee ballots in their name? These people are going through today not even knowing they voted at all, and they could use their voter roll as legitimate and get a ballot in for them. You think it was used that way?
Yes, and I'm trying to investigate that. I brought it to the Trump's a lawyer's team's attention. I saw a pattern in Northampton County because I got to see some of the ballots and with the provisional ballots and some of the Sure system. Yes, I saw this pattern where all these voters were reactivated. 1998, 2000. That's 20 years ago, people. Okay, so I think they took dead voter rolls or really old voter rolls, and somebody in these election offices were hitting activate, activating these, and then someone was voting on these ballots. Now that's what that's a way there could have been fraud. I don't know that, but I'm thinking that needs to be investigated because it was a pattern. So you haven't voted in 22 years. All of a sudden you're doing a mail-in ballot? You didn't even vote for Obama? So I'm real suspicious.
And the odds of those people don't even know they voted absentee. The person doing it, activating these rolls, odds of getting caught are very little. Because you have to really be paying attention to catch that. I think that's one that can fly under the radar unless somebody is out there looking for it. So look, some of those people might not even live in Pennsylvania anymore. You're being reactivated after 22 years. That is a total investigation right now. Total investigation right now of the people that moved out of the state but still voted. Oh, that's in big numbers, and that's just not Pennsylvania. One more. This one, when you said this, the room paused. There was a gasp in the room. It paused for a minute, like, wait a minute, did we hear you correctly? And I thought the same thing when I watched it last Wednesday. 1,500 votes received before they were mailed.
Yes.
Is that
so
what you said?
It is absolutely. That's what we have. They're like 1,533 ballots were actually received in the election office before the date they were even mailed out. Now, we did have vote in person, but it's not those. Because the vote in person comes up on the system as the same day. Like if I walked in the election office on 10/15, it showed I got my ballot on 10/15.
Right.
I returned my ballot on 10/15. That is not what these are. We don't know what these are. And our election office will not answer any questions. They have been told to answer nothing to us. We went to an election board meeting with the solicitor and the reg last week. They will not answer anything. Nothing we ask, they'll answer. They've been completely shut down, like to not give us any information, to not tell us anything that's going on. So we have no idea what these are. So these ballots came in before they were even mailed. What are these ballots? How can that happen? And some of these dates were even before, after the in-person voting was shut down. So we don't know what these are, and it needs to be investigated.
All right, so that is your testimony broke down. One more minute or two, and we'll take all the time we can here breaking this down. I want to bring up Gregory Stenstrom, a patriot. I mean, this guy is retired military, just a brilliant man. I listened to his testimony along with others. He talked about the flash drives that are missing now?
Yes, the flash drives that go into the voting machines.
They're missing.
That have yes. And it's like, where is somebody to make you go to? I mean, you know what I mean? Everything's falling on deaf ears in Pennsylvania. Our legislators aren't doing it. I mean, we have a few, Mastriano and I think eight senators, only 26 House members out of 115 Republicans are even chiming in on this stuff. Where do we go in Pennsylvania? We got a Democrat governor. We have a Democrat Secretary of State. We got a Democrat Pennsylvania Supreme Court. And we have missing data flash drives of votes on them. I mean, did they exchange these out and put their numbers on them? I mean, the stuff that went on in Pennsylvania is unbelievable. And it's like they don't care. They're all turning a blind eye to this, and they're going to see the wrongful winner in Pennsylvania.
Okay, so let's move on. Is there anything else that came out Wednesday, or anything else you'd like to discuss about those hearings? Because I would like to now move into what's happening today. Today is your last day of legislative session before they leave for the holidays. What's happening in PA now?
Okay, so listen, they're calling that hearing in Gettysburg the second Gettysburg Address, because so much stuff came out there.
Yes.
I mean, you had people that, were testifying to the fact that these votes were found overnight that they can't account for. Our Secretary of State had posted the result page of their website showing that more ballots were received than they actually mailed out. Now, they have taken that down since, but several people got a screenshot of the voting results where they had like 1.8 million mailed out and 2.6 million came back.
Isn't that where they took down Mastriano's, took down his, or shut his Twitter feed down?
Yes, because they don't want people to know these ballots. They can't account for the ballots that came in Pennsylvania.
Right.
They cannot account for these ballots. We do not know where they came from. There is no way to account for them. But what's happening in Harrisburg today is we have patriots out there today. It's the last day of legislative session, going to the House members who might be at work today, the ones that are there, and trying to convince them to seat the Trump electors, trying to get them to agree or see that this was clearly a fraud election and they need to do the right thing. These are the same legislators that gave us an unconstitutional mail-in ballot system. They need a remedy to this today. We have people going to their doors demanding they take action today. Unfortunately, our House Speaker and our Senate Speaker said they're not going to do it. They're going with the popular vote, whatever it is. Well, that's clearly wrong. So you're saying you're going to go with this fraud election no matter what? You mean you're going to go with the popular vote where you don't even know where you got this popular vote, the popular vote that's wrong? So we have patriots out there today trying to get them to do the right thing. We have 115 Republicans in the House. We only have 26 on board. Our senators, we only have like 8 on board right now. So we have patriots out there today in Harrisburg trying to get them to do the right thing, but they're shutting it down. We're making phone calls. They're shutting us down. They don't want to hear it. The Republicans in Harrisburg, a lot are not Trumpers. They're not MAGA. They're Republicans, and there's a difference.
Oh, okay. No, I get it. I get it, because I'm wondering what that does. And I'm in Georgia, and I know I don't have to remind you or the viewers, but the reason I say that is I don't want to say we're treading lightly, but we're trying to get 2 senators elected. And trust me, there's enough people. Now, I went Saturday. Yes, Saturday. And it's the first time Congressman Doug Collins and Senator Loeffler were together. Actually, Collins introduced Loeffler. They shook hands. It's, a big picture. We're trying to do everything to convince people, hey, you still got to go out and vote. But the number one thing we hear is, really, you want us to go vote on these machines? So when I say I'm treading lightly there, but you just made a comment.
You guys are in a horrible predicament down there, a horrible predicament. You have one hand where you have to go fight this battle and save your Constitution and save your country and seat the right winner of the presidency, but then you have these 2 senators running on the same system. How do you reconcile it? I mean, there's 2 schools of thought down there. Go with it because it's here what we have today. But then there's a school of thought saying, what if it's rigged again? And it's purpose. What the hell happened? I'm sorry. What happened in Georgia? I mean, look at your numbers in 2016. Look how Trump won in 2016. Are you going to convince me that all of a sudden in 2020, those people didn't support Trump again? I don't believe it. You guys have even a bigger argument of how Trump won in 2020 than we even do. So, I mean, we had a fraud election in this country. We're turning into a third world country. We can't trust our elections. Sadly, the Republicans are in on it. They let it happen. Okay, it's all these states that were the swing states. They let it happen. They either got the wool pulled over their eyes or they were in on it. They're either incompetent or in on it.
Well, let me say this. I won't move. You're exactly right. What the hell happened in Georgia? Well, we have this person named Stacey Abrams, and let me tell you something, Lee. In just in the conversation here, if you're not going the direction maybe I want you to go, doesn't mean you're not doing a good job for the direction you want to go. And let me tell you something, the Democrats, their hero is Stacey Abrams, and she has done her job in Georgia that she was commissioned to do.
Yeah, but that's because you guys let her.
Exactly.
You have an unconstitutional.
I got it.
You had an unconstitutional voting system.
I got it. What I'm saying is I got it. Now she has 900,000 absentee ballots in her pocket. Let me move back to PA just for a second because I don't want to get sidetracked. The president said yesterday on Marie Bartiromo, and he's made the comment, we can't get our argument in court. Are we going to be able to get the Pennsylvania argument into the Supreme Court? What are you hearing from the Trump team, Giuliani? Are you hearing anything? Or are they going to be able to get the actual argument into the Supreme Court?
Well, I'm not sure, but that's the only way that we can be heard, because Pennsylvania Supreme Court is a Democrat court, and they have taken everything. They've ruled against everything against Trump. He hasn't had one thing go his way, which interestingly, the lower court, before it got to the Supreme Court, said it was an excellent case, the one about the mail-in ballot being unconstitutional.
Yeah, and it said it probably could overturn those ballots.
Yep, overturn the election.
Right.
And of course, the Supreme Court squashed that immediately.
Absolutely.
So I don't know if they're going to get to the Supreme Court. It's the only hope we have. I think we have enough to get there. Will they take it? I don't know. People don't like to overturn elections. And it's like, wait a minute. It's really not about overturning the election. It's about saving our republic. It's about saving our country. Are we going to accept fraudulent elections now? Where are we going in this country? It's not even about seating Donald Trump. It's not about overturning the election. It's about having fair and free elections in the United States of America. That's where we need our Supreme Court. This is a pivotal time, folks. You're living in pivotal times. We have to save the republic.
You know,
and that's where we are.
You said something earlier that I want to revisit later when we have another interview here down the road soon. But you said these are Republicans, not MAGA. Are you concerned that after January 20th there could be a split in the party? Do you think that Trump could save the Republican Party? Or, I mean, what is the feeling? Because that is on social media. People are blowing up. Republicans are a little nervous, is my opinion.
Well, they should be. And here's what I think Trump should do. Hear me. I'm telling you now, this is the way we do it. Trump should, if he doesn't save this, if we don't save this, I think he should do mini rallies in every single district where we had a turncoat Republican and expose them. The whole rally should be about getting rid of that person and getting them primary. This should be a cleansing of the Republican Party once and for all. Every time I contact one of these Republicans, it falls on deaf ears. I am the chairman of the Northampton County Republican Committee. I contacted some of my state representatives, Republicans. They didn't even respond to me. Nothing. Not even thank you for your comments. I'm talking zero. I think Trump should get out there and expose them once and for all. He should go to Georgia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and expose these people who are not MAGA. And we have to get rid of them, folks. It's the only way we save this country is to elect patriots. We have to elect patriots.
Well, wait a minute. You know, I want to, got to save this for another day, but we did that in 2010. And, we did that in 2010. And we don't feel like it paid off. So are you saying, because you have to be careful because you're in the party and the party wants people to keep party line. I don't know that I heard you correctly, and I won't put you on the
I don't need to. No, I don't need to be careful because doing what's right. I'm going to do what's right. I'm going to do what's right first.
So if people are not supporting the president, you think there should be patriots start to look to primary even those Republicans?
Yes, because it's not about seating Donald Trump. It's about doing what's right here. And we've made it clear we have enough people. There's more witnesses than what got on the Gettysburg Address. We have a lot more people who saw things happening that were irregular and inappropriate. And if they're going to believe, if these Republicans are going to believe the mainstream media or believe holding on to their personal job before saving our state and saving our Constitution and saving our country, I'm not sure they should still be in office.
Okay, so Pennsylvania, today is the last day of session. You're not feeling very confident, as Colonel Mastriano said on the War Room, that they were going to put a resolution up to give the electors to Trump and have Governor Wolf challenge it. So you're not feeling that will come out of today's last session and get voted on?
I'm confident Mastriano's doing it. He's doing it. I'm confident he's doing it. I'm not sure if the Republicans are going to get on board. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
But I know he's doing it.
And after today, if that falls short, we just waiting for Rudy Giuliani and the team to try to get it into the Supreme Court, or is that where
yes, that's our only. I think our best hope is getting to the Supreme Court that this election was unconstitutional because they passed the mail-in ballot system without following the procedures of the Pennsylvania Constitution. That's our best hope in Pennsylvania, that Supreme Court takes that case.
Well, let's see if what happens in Georgia could resonate in PA, because I will tell you, Sidney Powell is on the edge, I think, of proving the Dominion voting machine glitch was not that. It was more than the glitch, and I think we could be on the edge and Sidney Powell be the one prove something in Georgia. I'm just hopeful, and that could resonate as a Supreme Court. Then you know that if we could get Georgia in the Supreme Court, and ours could be considered unconstitutional, is what we're going for also in one of the actions that she wants to get in before the judge, then that could resonate to PA. So maybe we could go together. We will see. All right. Well, keep us up on what's happening. Thank you very much for testifying.
All right. Have a great day. Patriots, go save your republic. Patriots, go save your republic.
I appreciate it. Okay.
All right.
Folks,
have a great day.
You too. We're going to take a brief break. That's Gloria Lee Stover. She is the GOP chair in Northampton County. Before they even sent the absentee ballots back, her county already had 1,500 returned. But the media will tell you there's no proof. There's no evidence. There's nothing here. So we're going to take a break. We're going to come back, get some updates, see what's going on, and wrap up the show. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching Politics. Let's take a brief break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World has 9-piece living room packages at incredible prices. Get this stylish sofa and love seat, 3 tables, 2 lamps, 43-inch 4K TV, and stand, all for only $1699.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this 9-piece living room and reclining sofa and reclining love seat, now only $1999.99 or $149.99 a month. These packages are amazing. Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Circuit World has complete queen bedroom packages at amazing prices. Get this queen bed, dresser and mirror, 1 nightstand, bedding set, and free 32-inch TV, all for only $1799.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this complete queen bedroom set and sleep in style, also for only $1799.99 or $129.99 a month. What an incredible deal! Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. It is watching BKP Politics. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So I got a message, November 30th, 2020. Oh, this show's only 2 hours today. Now, we're talking about Pennsylvania. I'm going to move over into Georgia. We will have a big close here on Georgia. I want to introduce you to somebody. Excuse me, I got to clean my teeth. I mean, I have to eat my muffin and jelly, and so it gets in my teeth. This is a small budget operation, folks. Just it is. So I got a message from. Let me be clear who this is. I got a message from a member of the Northampton County Election Board. Okay? This is a member of the Northampton County Election Board. Now, in transparency, it's another sister. It is. It's another sister, okay? My election board has 3 Democrats who cried possible fraud for 2 years, and we need to protect our election. One of the reasons I did so much research, the last meeting, nothing. Ask Lee. I couldn't believe it. I said it's the biggest voter turnout of all time, and you have nothing to say. They weren't even praising the turnout. These are the Democrats in Northampton County, PA. They weren't even praising the turnout. Democrats know the truth. They just won't admit it. I keep saying, you got no comment on the election? Was all of them silent? I was the only one. So the Democrats in these big metro areas on the election board, no, they're silent. They won't say nothing because they know exactly what happened. All right, that being said, that's funny. All right, so got a message from our good friend Bay Cagle from Pickens County. I want to show this to you really quick. They are on a bus tour. Give me number 46. They're headed to Savannah. All right. And Bay is on this bus tour. And she sent me a message. March for Trump. And they're headed to, let's see, November 30th, 12 noon. They're going to be in Savannah. Then they're headed up to South Carolina. Let me see what Bay just sent me. We're leaving Jacksonville for Savannah at noon. People continue to be welcoming to our crew as we spread the gospel of election integrity. Bay, what's happening there? We've got an article mega supporters chant "Stop the Steal." Okay, this is on the bus tour, and we're actually going to have somebody from the bus tour call in tomorrow morning. Mega supporters chant "Stop the Steal" as they gather in Florida to kick off 2-week march for Trump bus tour in the swing states he lost to Biden. The 2-week bus tour kicked off in Florida Sunday and will travel around the eastern half of the country. The mobile rally is termed March for Trump and designed to show support for the president. The tour will visit 18 states, including the swing states of Wisconsin, Georgia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, which Trump lost to Biden during the November 3rd election, as they say. This is what they're saying. Tour will end in Washington, D.C. on December 12th with another mega rally 2 days before the Electoral College cast their votes from the prospective states, or respective states, not prospective. Trump's campaign has shown no evidence of massive voter fraud. His team's legal efforts are to throw out votes have failed. That's the way they ended there. But the rally is Patriots is March for Trump. It's a bus tour. They're headed all over the United States here on the eastern seaboard, as they say. And good for you. Thank you very much, Bay Cagle from Pickens County. You are on the trip, and we'll get some information from you later and try to get somebody on the show in the morning where all they're going, what they're trying to accomplish. Women, Trump Women America First bus tour. All right. So let me move on from that. Let's play. I know we number one. I want to play this guy. His name. Let me get it for you. Gregory Stenstrom. Let's play Pennsylvania number 2. Okay, if you've got to put that back in, that's fine. That's fine if you got to put it back in. Let's see. Looks like it's giving you an issue. Try to get out and put it back in. I know you got to work on that. I want to play Pennsylvania number 2 because I want you to hear yourself, this guy. And every time, and one of the reasons I want you to hear this guy, there's so much. Every time you hear the media say with no evidence whatsoever, I want you to remember this guy here, along with about 14 others, including my sister you heard earlier, Gloria Lee Snover. These people have signed affidavits and are the penalty of perjury. I mean, they take this serious. If Wednesday, these were just Americans that they're all going to lie, just wonder. And Democrats aren't talking. Oh, trust me, they're not talking. They don't want to talk about it. So if you got
what we saw there, what I saw there was a chain of custody in all cases that was broken. It was broken for the mail-in ballots, the drop box ballots, the election day USB V card flash drives. In all cases, the chain of custody and the procedures that were defined by the Delaware County Board of Elections and Election Process Review they didn't follow one. I couldn't even redline this multi-page document because the entire document would be, they didn't follow any of the procedures.
Didn't follow any of the documentation, chain of custody. Was that number 2? Okay. Let's play the one where Dominion Executive with OAN that they're really hot about, saying that it's linked to Antifa. Let's play that one. Dominion Executive, Trump's not going to win. Let's play that video.
One America's Chanel Rion speaks with founder of FEC United, Joel Oltmann, who made a bombshell discovery about a key member of Dominion's leadership.
Joe, you infiltrated an Antifa conference call this past September and accidentally came upon a top Dominion voting systems executive named Eric Coomer. Describe that call and what it led you to find.
It was interesting how the call started. Somebody says, "Who's Eric?" He says, "Eric's a Dominion guy." Someone actually said, "Hey, go ahead." I told him to continue speaking. And someone interrupts and says, "What are we going to do if effing Trump wins?" And Eric responds, and I'm paraphrasing this, by the way, "Don't worry about the election. Trump is not going to win. I made effing sure of that." And then they started laughing, and somebody says, "Effing right." At that point, I thought to myself, this guy's crazy. These people are crazy because they think that they are, Jedi warriors and they can just will themselves to Trump not winning.
Fast forward to just after the election, Oltmann sees an article concerning Georgia's last-minute Dominion voting software updates. The article cites Eric speaking on behalf of Dominion. Oltmann remembers his September call and begins to dig deeper.
But I did do research on Eric, and so I just put a simple Google search to start, which was Eric Dominion, Denver, Colorado. And Eric Coomer came up immediately under Dominion voting systems. Anytime that there was a press release, Eric Coomer was the one giving that press release. Anytime that they were pitching the product to different municipalities, he was the one pitching the product. And I'm talking about Arizona, Wisconsin, Georgia, Pennsylvania, you name it, his name pops up everywhere.
The real shocker came when Oltmann found Coomer's Facebook posts.
And when I got access to his Facebook, you get that sinking feeling like what this is crazy. Here's a director of security of strategy and security at Dominion. And when I got into his Facebook page, that's when things really started to kind of come together for me that Eric Coomer was this, that he was not just Antifa, he was responsible for putting his finger on the scales of our election.
Posts including the Antifa Manifesto, vitriolic posts against all Trump voters, song links like Dead Prez and F the Police and F the USA. Oltmann says Coomer had the title and the power to exercise his vitriol through Dominion. If Coomer is investigated and found to have indeed tampered with a presidential election, such an action could be tried for treason. Unfortunately, the question is, will the FBI step up to investigate? For more on this interview and others, tune in for OAN's upcoming investigation on Dominion. Chanel Rion, One American News, Washington.
Want to see more videos like this?
All right. I don't know, folks. I mean, what say you? Immediately, number 7, Snopes. Is it Snopes they call it? S-N-O-P. Snopes. Okay. They immediately go to the left-leaning liberal Snopes. Eric Coomer, who has served as director of product strategy and security for Dominion Voting Systems, bragged about rigging the 2020 election against Donald Trump in an Antifa conference call. Now, this is the claim. They'll always put up the claim, okay? So if you put this guy's name in, this is the first thing that's going to come up, and it's going to come up, nobody is looking into this at all, right? And the first thing that comes up, what does it say? Unproven. Okay. Unproven. That's not a real answer. Unproven. Let me just say this, okay? And I don't want to get stuck because there's one thing on the Sidney Powell lawsuit that I want to highlight before the show goes off the air today. I always say, when it comes to the media, whatever you're seeing, just stop and think, what is underneath that they don't want you to see, okay? Now, Trump says very clearly they used COVID. Remember, we talked about that. They used COVID. Now, let me just ask you a question. Do you mean that there's not been an opportunity? And I say this, I understand, don't get all bent out of shape. But are you telling me there's not been an opportunity in the last 3 months for a white cop to shoot a black guy in the city somewhere? Have all of those opportunities, are they all gone? I mean, there's not a white cop that has shot a black guy in the leg anywhere in any city, anywhere in the last 4 months? Huh, interesting. It seems like there was a white police officer shooting a black man, and they were staggering it out. They were giving the satellite trucks enough time to get to a city and cover the peaceful protest and get everything they could out of that before the next one and move. And now, are there no riots? I mean, what happened? Why was that set up in the last 6 months, let's just use that, of the year? To cover up what? What they were really doing, Antifa and Black Lives Matter? Huh. How about COVID? Why was COVID 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, Black Lives Matter, not Antifa, Black Lives Matter, peaceful protest, White cops shooting black guys. That was so they could get everything done under the radar and nobody talk about it. Nobody was covering anything. Dominion voting machines, election integrity, why they were all coming out and doing the mail-in ballots for safety. For safety. They had to have that, right? For safety. Just remember, every single time, okay? Remember, every single time, what happened to, right? It's all fraudulent. Let's put it like that, okay? Because then what do? They run out this guy here. Number 10. Fraud claims debunked. Okay, and I want to put this up for a reason first. Fraud claims debunked, right? All right, this guy was on 60 Minutes. What's his name again? I forget his name. Right here. Give me number 12. Right? Because he said it. It went on 60 Minutes. Chris Krebs, former director of Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. Americans should have 100% confidence in their vote. So if he says that, the media is going to run with it. They're going to absolutely run with it. Right? But what if Sidney Powell and this guy, number 1, check out number 1. Well, what if this guy here, now I can't pronounce his name, so I will put it up here in just a moment. Give me number 2. Give me number 3. Now read his name at the top if you can, because I can't pronounce it. All right. So we'll bypass the name. He has a PhD in engineering and technology and received advanced training from the CIA, NSA, Department of Homeland Security, DHA. In his sworn statement, he says he believes that the USB memory cards were used to facilitate administrative backdoor access. Well, wait a minute. The USB memory cards, would those be the ones that are missing in Pennsylvania? They can't find? USB memory cards, backdoor access to distribute polling operations and impact ballot counting across Michigan, Georgia, Pennsylvania, Arizona, and Wisconsin. Have you heard his name in the media anywhere? It looks like he has credentials. He had been advanced training he has received advanced training from the CIA, NSA. He has his PhD. Now, give me number 4. He also said, after detailed analysis of the New York Times data, in his expert judgment, the vote count distribution in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, Arizona, Nevada, and Georgia are not based on normal system operation. Instead, they are caused by fraudulent electronic manipulation of the targeted voting machines. I don't know. I mean, now if you have number 10, this guy here, right? Fraud claims debunked. Nothing to see here. 12, Krebs, former director of Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, American. Oh, okay. Moving right along. What? What the hell are you talking about? Let me find something else here I want to look at. Here is a formula. I found this. All right. Let me look at this. Now, Rand Paul put this out. We're going to go back in a minute. Rand Paul put this out. Number 42, Senator Rand Paul. All right. 13 hours ago. Look at that. Interesting. Trump margin of defeat in 4 states occurred in 4 data dumps between 1:34 and 6:31 a.m. Statistical anomaly? Question mark. Fraud? Question mark. Look at the evidence and decide for yourself. That is, if big tech allows you to read this, anomalies and voting count. Okay. Now, if you go to this and you read this, okay, it's very interesting. Now, this is in here, and I just want to bring this up, number 43. There's a formula they've used, right? And when I was in there reading this, I had a flashback. The teacher up at the front of the board saying, BKP, well, they even referred to me as BKP back then. BKP, Y equals. Oh my God. What does Y equal here? I used to cringe. Why? Both of these metrics are symmetrical if we let's see, the reader will note that for any positive number, X and Y, what does Y equal? I'm sorry, man. It just gives me a flashback that just sends me through the roof. Okay, number 4. He also detailed the New York Times, and I could have sworn I cropped out something else, and I don't see it. That's number 4. Give me number 4. I'm sorry if I gave you the wrong number. Give me number 4 there for this professional here. And I guess I don't have the New York Times, but let me just say this. I want to go through something here. Anomalies, is that what you say? And vote counts and the effect on the election 2020. You could go read this. Where's it at? Pennsylvania. Let's see. I had it here a minute ago. In her Georgia complaint, Sidney Powell included the declaration of doctor, an expert witness who stated under oath there was massive computer fraud in the 2020 election. All of it intended to secure victory of Joe Biden. All right. His name may not mean a lot to you. Give me his picture. I think it's number 2. Or you can put up number 1 with Sidney Powell and him. His name, go ahead and put up number 1. His name may not mean a lot to you, but it's one of the weightiest names in the world when it comes to sniffing out cybersecurity problems. Oh no, Sidney's going to get them here. We know how important Dr. is because just 2.5 months ago, the New York Times ran one of its Sunday long form articles about a massive multi-million-dollar fraud that a talented grifter ran against the American intelligence and military communities, Doctor is one of the few people who came off looking good. In the article, it says, those who worked with him said, was always the smartest person in the room in doing cybersecurity and technical counterintelligence work for the CIA, NSA, FBI, and had spent decades connected top secret dots. After several months of working with Mr. Courtney, he began connecting those dots too. He did, let's see, now the true intelligence. There was one more thing I wanted to point out. His qualifications include a BA, MA, PhD in various areas of electronic and computer engineering. In addition, I have advanced training from the defense, right? DIA, CIA, NSA, and Office of Intelligence and Analysis, and MIT. MIT. They don't bring this guy up. No. The other guy, oh, it's debunked. It's debunked. It's over. Okay. So anyhow, this is a great article you should read. It goes into full detail. I don't want to take up the rest of it. This is from the American Thinker. Okay. The smartest man in the room has joined Sidney Powell's team. They're afraid of this guy. They're afraid of him getting into the Dominion software. They're afraid of her getting him in front of a judge. He has done all the algorithm. He knows. Let's go back. I'm going to show you two more quick clips from an article, another article that I've read about 4 articles on this guy. I should learn to pronounce his name. I apologize, sir. But again, here's number 3. This would be his name at the top right here. We'll show you this before we close. Okay. In engineering and technology, whatever the hell. What? It's Monday. And received advanced training from CIA. We did that. He says he believes that USB memory cards were used. Interesting. To disrupt polling operations and impact ballot counting across Michigan. See, Sidney Powell has this person in her key witnesses. When Sidney Powell says that computers were set up to dump and that we sent votes to other countries to be counted without our knowledge, she knows exactly what she's talking about. Don't let the media don't let them trick you. This lady, Sidney Powell, knows exactly what she's talking about. Okay? Give me number 4. The vote count distribution in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, Nevada, and Georgia are not based on normal system operation. Instead, they are caused by fraudulent electronic manipulation of the targeted voting machines. I'm just telling you. Now, the media could put up that, oh, it's debunked. Let me show you one more time. This guy, MIT, the works. CIA, the works. Okay? But no, they'll say, here's what they're putting up. Number 10. Fraud claims debunked. Oh, well, they're debunked. Well, we need to move on. Number 12. Cribs, Americans should have 100% confidence in their vote. Oh, I guess. Oh, I see. So we'll move on. Folks, I'm telling you, there's a lot out there, a lot. And Democrats are very quiet, very, very quiet. Okay, so Joe Biden broke his foot. I think the German Shepherd, they finally Joe. They finally said, okay, Joe, you can have some one-on-one time with the dog. I guess we could take the pressure off. Next thing you know, he twists his ankle. The dog. Lucky it's not a hip. We're going to take a break. We'll come back and we'll wrap up this morning and some of the things going on in the media we have to look at. Take a break.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Circuit World has complete queen bedroom packages at amazing prices. Get this queen bed, dresser and mirror, 1 nightstand, bedding set, and free 32-inch TV, all for only $1799.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this complete queen bedroom set and sleep in style, also for only $1799.99 or $129.99 a month. What an incredible deal! Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics. Damn. I think Brian Kemp, I think the governor of Georgia is through. President Trump will be coming to, Georgia Saturday, supposedly, waiting for that announcement of where and when Saturday. I doubt Brian Kemp will be on the stage with him. The president has tweeted out, and so we're going to go to that. First, let's play that video. I think I said it's Brian Kemp, Trump Brian Kemp, or something like that. Is that what I have? If I have that one, it's a video. Can you go to that one?
Which everything has to be approved by the legislature. And they had judges making deals, and they had electoral officials making deals, like this character in Georgia who's a disaster. And the governor's done nothing. He's done absolutely nothing. I'm ashamed that I endorsed him. But I look at what's going on. It's so terrible, which everything has to be approved by the legislature. And they had judges making deals, and they had electoral officials making deals, like this character in Georgia who's a disaster. And the governor's done nothing. He's done absolutely nothing. I'm ashamed that I endorsed him. But I look at what's going on. It's so terrible.
This character, that would be, let me give you the character. That would be Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger. Okay. That's who the character. And they had judges making deals. They had these people making deals. So let's put this up. I put this up earlier, and I put this picture up, and I say it as a little bit of a joke. Number 8, give me number 8. This is Trump saying to Brian Kemp. My caption here, Governor of Georgia, Trump saying to Brian Kemp, hey, do you see that bus over there? Yeah, you mean the one over there? Yeah, that's the one I'm about to throw your ass under. So let me put this up. The president has tweeted out here an hour ago, I'm not fighting for me. I'm fighting for 74 million people, not including the many Trump ballots that were tossed. A record for a sitting president who voted for me. Next. 56 minutes ago, why won't Governor Brian Kemp of Georgia, the hapless governor of Georgia, use his emergency powers, which can be easily done to overrule his obstinate Secretary of State and do not match of signatures on envelopes. Do a match of signatures on envelopes. It will be a gold mine of fraud, and we will easily win the state. So the president says, hey, Georgia governor, you got an obstinate, Secretary of State. Why don't you do a match the signatures on the envelope? It'll be a gold mine. So President Trump blasting Governor Brian Kemp again. Also, this is also another little shout out to Brian Kemp, governor. Also, quickly check the number of envelopes versus the number of ballots. You may just find that there are many more ballots than there are envelopes. Would you be implying, Mr. President, those boxes of freshly had that ink smell about them, like they had went through the printer where the bubble was perfectly computerized, stamped in place for Joe Biden and only Biden? No fold, no nothing. Wednesday, the lady in Pennsylvania last Wednesday, okay? There's a lady in Atlanta. I got a text the other day. I'll play it tomorrow, okay? She in Fulton County looked at these ballots that were perfect. Versus the number of ballots, you must just find that there are more ballots than envelopes. So simple and easy to do. Georgia Republicans are angry. All Republicans are angry. Get it done. Damn. Okay. So, Georgia is on the president's mind this morning. Let me show you something. I'm going to end with this. The media has gone there. Why is the media going nuts over the little communist was out, number 40. Give me Dr. Fauci, the little communist, and let's run through this. It's only going to take just a minute, Emily. Stay up on numbers here. Here's Fauci, okay, 39, surge upon surge, all right? This is my closer of the day, 39. Get a couple more here. Number 33, travelers to self-quarantine after your Thanksgiving super spreader event. Okay. Number 31, holiday travel peaked Sunday. Now many travelers self-quarantine. Okay. Number 30, record high hospitalizations. And so why the 7 days a week, 24 hours a day coronavirus updates again? And I'll tell you why exactly. Because they're going to do everything they can. And let me just say this. They're going to do everything they can to collapse this economy. All jokes aside, they're going to do everything they can to collapse this economy, to get you to believe that Joe Biden has to save it, and we have to have this mega $3 trillion bill for schools and teachers unions and corrupt Democrat cities, but they're going to collapse this economy so Biden can save it. He has to have an emergency package, and they're going to do something to collapse this economy. Second, COVID, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Why? We still have an election going on. And our last picture of the day, number 14, Biden's eyeing this guy here for the cabinet, Rahm Emanuel. Remember, he was Barack Obama's first chief of staff. Department of Transportation. Interesting. A record number spending infrastructure package that he could help take to Chicago. What the hell, man? What a bunch of crooks. I'm your host, BKP. I will see you back. Put up the way that people can send me information and get in touch with me always. Put that up there. That's how you can do that. 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. I will see you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Glad to be back. BKP Politics. We are out. Emily, thank you for everything. Great day. See you in the morning.